Greetings, TheWarOwl greets you. I was fortunate enough to get a beta key for Rainbow Six Siege, so as always, here are my impressions on the potential of this game. Keep in mind it's just in beta, and in fact the release date has been pushed back, so it's not fair to review or evaluate the game considering it could be much different on release. When we all saw this game coming out, it screamed next-gen Counter-Strike, which is why my inbox has been flooded with you guys asking my opinion about it for the last few months. Now, really, the only similarity is the theme. It's a 5 versus 5 terrorist versus counter-terrorist tactical competitive shooter. I originally had very low expectations for this title, considering it was a console shooter ported to PC, which never turns out right, as well as a AAA high-budget title, which I haven't been able to get into in the last 10 years or so. I have a very sparse history with Ubisoft games. I played the original Splinter Cell, which I really liked as a stealth game. I played the original Ghost Recon, which I didn't really like. I also played some of the Far Cry games, which I also couldn't get into. I tried Assassin's Creed with Assassin's Creed Unity, but it didn't even work on my computer. It was garbage. One game I do want to play is the Rayman series, because I heard it was really good. I heard good things about it. But I've never played a Rainbow Six game, and there's like 20 of them now. I do like the writing of Tom Clancy, but he's been dead for years now, so I have no idea why his name is on the game, unless he wrote it posthumously from a haunted typewriter. Initially, when realizing the menu screen was in 60 FPS by moving the mouse around, yes, my brain can do that. The brain knows. I had this very cynical response of, well, here we go again. Until I found out a way to set it to 144 frames, which lined up with my monitor's refresh rate. The video settings in this game are passable. Now, I'm not gonna go all total biscuit on you, just mentioning that this is a very healthy, welcome change. The gameplay is very slow-paced with an emphasis on planning and tactics. It's a class-based game, but really, your class just gives you extra perks, such as being able to blow through reinforced walls or being able to drop a jamming device. Classes also limit your primary weapon choice. There are a number of game modes, and I assume that they're going to add more as it goes on. This is the beta, it's very limited, there's only a few maps. The maps have a very vertical element to them, and seem to emphasize like a SWAT-style urban warfare. You have the ability to blast through certain walls, you can blast through certain ceiling types, and even rappel up the sides of walls. You have a lot of freedom to go where you want in this game, and approach the problem how you want, making every single round an individual pleasure. The game starts off in a planning phase where attackers scout with robots and try to figure out what's going on, and the defenders set up all of their defenses and get into position. This is the real novel part of the game. I really like it. It makes every single round unique and gives much more weight to your decisions instead of just raw shooty shoot shoot. You're required to approach your problems using your brain. Even with randoms, so long as they have a mic and a brain, you plan out your attack and execute it, and it never goes as you expected. It's sort of like Payday in that respect. By the way, so many of the people in the beta didn't use microphones. It's 2015, you're playing a tactical shooter. Get a damn microphone and use it. Everyone I played with was really respectful though, except for one guy who insulted me for making YouTube videos for a living, but that was just a me thing. The beta audience seemed really cool. The shooting mechanics are not bad as they are right now. I heard horror stories from the alpha, but I think the developers are actually listening to people and trying to make this game good instead of just putting something out there. They've pushed back the release date, and from what I've heard from people, they've implemented a ton of changes that people have suggested. There's recoil patterns, so it isn't like Call of Duty where the rounds always go to the center. It is fairly easy to shoot, however. Targets are massive and shots go where you want them to. There's a leaning mechanic, there's a prone mechanic, all of which serve to manipulate your model, making it more difficult to hit you, which makes sense in an indoor room-breaching setting. The movement accuracy of the weapons is too good in my opinion, and you're rewarded too much for body shots. What I mean is, you can run, come to a complete stop, look down scopes, and immediately have a perfect accurate spray. And the rate of fire of the weapons, the damage per second is so high, you can really just go for body shots if you want to. This takes a lot of skill out of it, but it might just be that I only played it for 8 hours, so I really didn't reach the full depth of the skill curve. There's a bunch of little things like that, like the hip fire accuracy being too good. And you know, I come from Counter-Strike where all we do is hip fire, but this is a different kind of game. There's a look-down scope mechanic, and that should be utilized. The skill to the game is figuring out where your opponents are and outsmarting them with the variety of equipment that you have. Grenades, flashes, smokes, C4, taser, bots, poisonous gas, and yes, riot shields. The riot shields are arguably overpowered as they are right now. You can shoot while you're completely protected by the riot shield, making you invulnerable and have the ability to attack. It's way overpowered. Come on, riot shields. Counter-Strike made that mistake like 15 years ago. Now, one thing I could suggest that could help balance the riot shields is just make it so that you can't shoot while you're using it. I know that may not be realistic, but as they are right now, they're really difficult to deal with, to the point where if you don't have the right equipment, you can't really beat them. They can just walk up and destroy you. It's really, really ridiculous in a sense. And I think that, yeah, again, just make it so that you have a mode where you can shoot and a mode where you can put the shield up, and then you can sort of toggle between those. I think that would make it a lot better than it is right now, where it just feels very overpowered. You see the riot shield guy and you're just like, what can we do? Okay, GG. But that's what betas are for. Balancing, finding this stuff, making it not suck. I'd say the game has a very strong foundation to build upon. Oh my gosh, this video is sounding positive. Guys, I think I might actually like this game. What's happening to me? Now, the elephant in the room, my biggest pet peeve with new competitive shooters, which given the 5v5 format and such this does fall under, is progression systems. Progression systems really do not have a place in a game like this, but the progression system for this one isn't actually that bad and doesn't get in the way as it is right now. You get these magic points, and these points allow you to unlock classes and augmentations to the weapon. It isn't linear. This means if you see a guy using the big bad riot shield and you want to use it yourself because you think it's super cool, you don't have to wait until a certain level. You can purchase it as the first class you want. The real reason for progression systems is to keep constantly rewarding the player for every little thing that they do and keep them playing the game. The reason in this game seems to be to spoon-feed new players content, which is a much better implementation, so that they don't get immediately overwhelmed with all the options when they just get started. But the problem with this thinking is that people who have already played the game for a while are gonna overwhelm them with all the new options in-game by shooting them in the face. I do like how the classless character, the one you start with called Recruit, gets to customize their loadout however they see fit. He can use whatever gun he wants. Another negative to this game is its integration to Uplay, which is Ubisoft's content delivery platform. If you've played on Steam and you played on Battle.net and you scoff at Origin, think one step lower than Origin. Then 10 steps lower than that. There's Uplay. My experience with it was wanting to change my name. I had to go into their website and log in. Couldn't do that from in-game. Then it wouldn't let me get by. It wouldn't let me get in there to choose my name or do anything without choosing a crappy pre-made avatar that looked like less imaginative versions of the Wii people. I just clicked on a random one to get by. Turns out, you can't modify your avatar without downloading their plugin. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. After reading the terms of use, it was pretty clear I didn't want this plugin on my computer. So I got a chick avatar. Also, you have to pick a unique name. TheWarOwl was taken. TheWarOwl was taken. Real TheWarOwl was taken. Fishmonger was taken, so I'm legit TheWarOwl now. Lovely. I just wanted to change my name to TheWarOwl. It took me 20 minutes, and my account was worse off after I was done. I just wanted my name to be TheWarOwl. Is that too much to ask for? I'm a simple man. That's all I wanted. Uplay is garbage. I think they only created it for digital rights management because they aren't taking advantage of all the things you can give players with this system. A sense of community, a sense of gaming identity. I didn't see any of this. And yes, I actually support any measure of digital rights management that prevents the game from being pirated. It's good that you can't steal the game. It's not fair that these people put all this money into making this game and trying to sell it, and people just steal it. It's just theft. I've never understood how people support that. It's just mind-boggling to me. But it has reached the point of ridiculousness where SimCity was an always online game. Does that make sense to you? The gameplay itself and the concept are sound. It offers a new interesting take on a competitive tactical shooter that I haven't seen before. The maps are a canvas for you to paint your gameplay onto. There's buildup of tension as you play. There's nothing like that moment when your team calls to breach. Explosives are set off at 3 different points, blasting through the walls and into the objective room. Flashes, deadly gas, explosions, and bullets go flying all around. People carving out shooting positions and drywall. Shield guy just standing there completely unaffected by any of it because of how OP he is, struggling to get by the barbed wire on the floor. One guy rappelling upside down and shooting in through the window. It is a great deal of intense fun. I don't know, I actually had fun playing this game, and I haven't had fun in a long time because I'm a cynical jerk. Overall, I had a great time playing this game, and I think based on this beta, the game really does have potential to be something I would consider purchasing and playing with friends. $60? Never mind. How do we break through here? Can you open the trapdoor? Wait, should I stand on top of it? No!